Big news surrounding the next team-up of heroes of the Marvel Cinematic Universe are out there. The one I'll be highlighting surrounds the bridge from Quantumania to Kang Dynasty. The Multiverse Saga might be off to a rocky start, but I believe that the crew behind the next Avengers have the right plan. Jonathan Majors wowed so many audiences in his debut as Kang the Conqueror. His fate in that film wasn't the end of his run in the MCU. More Kang variants are on their way, and eventually a Prime Kang will be the face that invades Earth. Most Avengers and the forces on Earth have little to no experience dealing with a threat like Kang, so it'll be important for the Avengers to get a quick and first heads up. There'll be a lot of plot threads for Loveness and Destin Cretton to tackle. Loveness will helm the writer's chair, co-writing Avengers 5 with Cretton. Cretton will be directing the film and bring in a lot of Phase 4 characters. One of those possible heroes could be Ant-Man, since he had some face-to-face conflict with Kang the Conqueror himself. I just hope that the script is tightened up with less plot holes like we saw in Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. But I believe with Destin Cretton, the film will be in safe hands. Loveness spoke with comicbook.com on Ant-Man's role in the MCU after Quantumania. That not all is well in the MCU. He emphasized the jump from a carefree Scott to a stressed out man in the film's ending. He elaborates further, but I think that is very interesting, and it kind of makes him almost as Paul Revere of the multiverse. A guy who has to warn everybody else, but he had a hard time beating one of these guys, so they're going to have some problems. So Scott Lang will warn our heroes about Kang based on his anxiety. I am suspecting more events to take place before Scott spills the beans to his fellow Avengers. Could a non-Avenger character also sense something coming? It might not just be the heroes that get the Kang warning. Another prominent and new MCU character might also find himself in deeper waters. Loveness spilled the beans on bringing back Namor during that same comicbook.com interview. Namor was last seen retreating and settling for a temporary peace with Wakanda. The peace isn't a full alliance, so I expect Namor to return with plenty of distrust. And despite that uneasy alliance, both kingdoms will need to join forces if they choose to face Kang. And if we are dealing with the Prime Kang variant, you're also expecting the most experienced and powerful variant yet. I can see Namor and Scott being the new signal callers of the MCU, leading to Kang's arrival. Namor has some precious resources that Kang could seek for, and just imagine the Kang Dynasty beginning with an invasion of Talocan. Namor and his forces try but lose to the forces of Kang the Conqueror. If Kang obtains the raw vibranium, he could achieve a bigger goal than one Ultron could only have dreamed of. Kang would essentially be unstoppable to normal military forces on Earth, and if Namor is defeated, could he escape injured to warn off other Avengers? I hope that Marvel Studios just ties the plot in a simple yet logical direction when bringing Kang to Earth. You gotta think Kang has to be very strategic with his moves. Ant-Man 3 is certainly not the last we will see of Scott Lang and his family. There are strong hints that either him, Hank Pym, or Janet Van Dyne will most likely be a casualty in the hands of Kang. According to sources from Alex from the Cosmic Circus, the original death of one of those characters was originally set for that final cut in Quantumania. Then that was cut out of the original ending, and that death will be moved into Avengers 5. Either way, Kang the Conqueror will return in a most vengeful and chaotic way. The Prime Kang is the same Kang we saw in Ant-Man 3, but revived. Scott Lang and company will be the first Prime Kang targets. Just hope Ant-Man and crew can tell each Avenger out there about the incoming threat. The process of setting up the next big Avengers film is going to be a tough topic for any writer. Loveness and Cretton will bring some of the biggest names in the MCU together versus a massive cosmic level threat. You're going to attempt to connect characters like Moon Knight and She-Hulk on the screen together for the first time ever. A cool dynamic of characters to see would be Ms. Marvel and Spider-Man. There's just so many possibilities, and I can see this challenge being overwhelming for many writers in Hollywood. Jeff expands his thoughts behind the script writing process for Avengers 5 and quotes the following. I mean, certainly in these Marvel rooms and all that, you certainly game out all these stories and you pitch them out, you write them out, and you're trying to land the best puzzle piece because there's so many characters in the ensemble. Putting these characters back together will be a tough challenge for the crew at Marvel Studios. The last two Avengers films didn't hold back on killing characters, so I'm fascinated to see how the character plotlines will line up in this movie and how they'll play out. A big factor to consider for Loveness in the script is how to deal with the fate of certain Avengers. It'll be tough to see classic Avengers meet their end, but I imagine it being even tougher to write and properly send off those characters. Loveness expanded his mindset on whether Avengers will meet their fate in his next script. He elaborates the following. But I wouldn't worry too much about Kang's kill count. He's going to rack up some kills as he goes along, so there should be no worries on the level of stakes in Avengers 5 based on the comments by the writer. However, he refrained from confirming any official lineup for the characters in the interview. He's teased some surprising names like Moon Knight and both Hulks, but another scoop from The Watcher 2099 says that Marvel Studios hasn't yet finalized the team for Kang Dynasty just yet. They predict She-Hulk, Captain America, Captain Marvel, Moon Knight, Spider-Man, Black Panther, and Shang-Chi are safe bets to be on that squad. But Avengers The Kang Dynasty hits theaters on May 2nd, 2025, with the sequel Avengers Secret Wars in theaters May 1st, 2026. There is a ton of time left for the MCU to change up their lineup before facing off Prime Kang, but share your thoughts on the latest info surrounding the Kang Dynasty and where you could see these characters showing up next. And how excited are you on the idea of bringing Namor into the new Avengers film? Thanks for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed today's topic. If you haven't yet, please hit that like button and also hit that sub button so you don't miss any big videos like this one. Click that bell so you get notified every time a video goes up. If you have some time to spare, please check out some of these videos on your screen right now.